Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make the house from the show Star vs. the Forces of Evil. Please remember that if you enjoy this video to hit that like button, I'd really appreciate that. It helps me out so much. And if you'd like to make some more cartoon related houses, check out the card system and the description below. I'm always building stuff. I take suggestions and requests all the time, so check those out in the card system and the description below. You'll probably find something that you like. Now, without any further ado, let's get started. Before we begin, I should tell you that this house will roughly require a 45 block by a 35 block area. 45 blocks going from left to right and 35 blocks going from front to back. That is about the amount of space that you will need to make the house and the garden and all of the stuff that you saw in the intro of the video. And speaking of making the stuff, this is what we will need to make the house. I think that these are all of the materials. I almost always forget one though, so I do apologize in advance if I do forget a material, but I mean, it happens every video. I mean, I'm so sorry, but we've probably forgot something. Anyway, make sure that you have all of these. Pause the video if necessary, no one's stopping you. I want you guys to be prepared, and once you have all this stuff, we can begin. So, let's say that you yourself have made this grid in your world. Well, you want to begin on the front right-hand corner of the grid. So we're starting in the same place, and we want to count left by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Then count inwards by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This is where we will start. Now, we're going to begin by placing a white concrete. And then 2 on top. 1, 2. We then want to place a white concrete inwards. And then place 3 on top. 1, 2, 3. Place a white concrete inwards, and then place 3 on top. 1, 2, 3. Just like that. Now, things get a little bit different. Place a white concrete inwards, and then place a white concrete on top, then a red concrete, and then a white concrete. Move a white concrete inwards, place 2 on top, 1, 2, and then a red concrete, like that. Then place a white concrete inwards, and 2 red concretes on top, 1, 2, and then a white concrete on top of that, and then place 2 white concrete to the left of this, 1, 2. But you also want to go up on top of this middle white concrete by 3. 1, 2, 3. Now that's a really weird row, so I think we should take a look at it. You should have something that should look very much like this. Now, once you have got that, we now want to begin the rest of our journey from this red concrete. So this one that we placed the white on top of, left, middle, etc. This red concrete, we want to place 2 red to the left of it. 1, 2. And then we want to go down by 1. And then place a white concrete down. And then a red left. And then place 3 white concrete down. So 1, 2, 3, and then a white to the left, a red concrete down, then we want to place 2 white concretes down, 1, 2, and then a white to the left, and then go down by 3 with the white, 1, 2, 3, go left with the white, and go down by 3, 1, 2, 3, go left 1, and then go down to connect down to the ground, like this. So we want to have a shape which should look exactly like that. Okay, so now that we have this, we have some important things to do. So you can see this pair of red concretes that we have in the middle. We want to join these together, and it's quite easy. So we want to bring these red concretes inwards by one block on either side, like in, and then we want to bring them down one, either side, like this. And then we want to bring them in an additional block, and then down, one by each, and then connect together in the middle. So we want to have this shape. We then want to fill the middle of this shape in using white concrete, like that. Then take the very middle block once more, and place 3 glass on top of it. It can be pane or regular block, it's whichever you like. 1, 2, 3. Like that. You can then fill in the little area that we've created using white concrete, like so. So now we have, it kind of looks like a spaceship, honestly. We want to have something which should look like this so far. Now, once we have done this, we want to create the rest of the front of the house. So we want to come all the way down to the last white block that we placed at the bottom of the house. So it's actually this one connecting down to the ground, right? And we want to go right of this block by 3 using white concrete. 1, 2, 3. Place a white concrete in front, and then go up by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then go right by 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then connect all the way down to the ground, like that. So we have this shape. And what we then want to do is we want to, inside of this shape, we want to, starting with the bottom specifically the bottom, we want to place a yellow concrete inside of it, like right at the bottom to the left, and then a red on top, a yellow, red, yellow. And then on the opposite side also, we want to place a, here, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow. And bring them inwards. Each one of these blocks, place a red inside with a yellow inside of that. So we have created a very solid doorway, just like that. And then we also want to be able to, want to be able to like walk inside of this. And by what I mean by this is there's like a little porch, right? So connect the very bottom of this together using red sandstone slabs. Like that, just in the middle, connecting together. And extend these slabs outwards by 1 row, out of the front, and then left and right by 1 row also. And then, behind what you've just made, you want to place an entire row of red sandstone slabs. So this can be basically from the back of the entrance to the back of the entrance, the yellow concrete blocks. And we also want to have a doorway, by the way. That's important to mention. So what we'll actually do is we'll raise up the sandstone blocks, or the sandstone slabs, and we'll turn them into solid blocks like this, right? The ones inside of the doorway. And then we want to be able to have an entrance. And the entrance is actually going to be right in the middle, behind everything. So here. And it's just going to be like a dark oak wood door. So if you can see, that's exactly what we want to have. And surrounding the door, like on all sides around the door, we want to place red concrete coming up the sides, like this. And it wants to go around the edge. And the effect that you're looking for from the outside should actually look perfectly like that. Now, once you've done that, we can work on filling in the rest of the house a little bit more. So, we want to take the area around this, and we want to fill it in using white concrete. So, like, the main wall of the actual front of the house, we just want to fill it in using white concrete, like this. I'm sure that you guys will be able to do this quite easily. So we just want to kind of like make sure that there is like a nice solid white surface. And you can see that the door actually has gaps in it in the inside. So once you've filled that part in with white concrete, we actually also want to add some white concrete around the door as well. So on the inside, you can place some white concrete like this. You can place it around the yellow and red border around the door. And then you want to place white concrete all the way around the red part of the door that you placed, if that makes sense. So like from the inside, it'll look like this. Yeah? But from this side right here, it'll look like that. Oh, and here's a little trick. If you want the door to be lit up, which I imagine you might do. I mean, it's completely up to you. A nice little trick is just to like place a sea lantern or something inside of that, and then you can see the entrance is really nice and well lit up now. Up to you whether you want to do that or not. Okay, so next thing we want to do is grab our red sandstone block. And we want to place a row of red sandstone around the front of this row of white. So a red sandstone on the sides of the top of the porch, and red sandstone coming all the way around the front, like this, as if you're giving it a nice little border. And then what you want to do is you want to place red sandstone slabs in front of the lower half of the red sandstone blocks, like this. And we also want to place red sandstone slabs on top of everything that we've made at the back. So we have made like a layered porch, if that makes sense. And do you know what might actually look better is, as I'm looking at the entrance, we might remove this yellow block in the middle, and then we'd obviously have to remove the sea lantern behind it. And then if we knock up into the porch, and then place a sea lantern in the ceiling there, then that might look a little bit better. I quite like that. Now it looks more so like an archway than anything else, and I actually like that a little bit better than what we had previously. On top of this porch area where we placed all of the sandstone, we also have to place a red concrete block in this position here on the left, on this middle row, and a yellow concrete block in this position here on this middle row. Now the purpose of this is there are cacti on the roof for whatever reason, so we're placing flower pots on top of each one of these with cactuses in the flower pots, like that. So we should end up with something that should look exactly like that, and that looks insane, doesn't it? I love this house. It is crazy. Now, once you have got that sorted out, we can move on to a part that is not going to be so much fun to do later. Let's map out the roof. Oh, the roof. I love these things. I really do. Okay, so you want to come to the right-hand side of the house, and you want to locate this block specifically. It is very much this block here, right here. It's in line with where the red is in the middle. Place a red sandstone stairs in front of this, okay? And then you want to place a red sandstone stairs in front of that block, so it's overhanging the front. Place an upside down sandstone stairs inwards, and on top of this upside down sandstone block, place 3 red sandstone blocks coming upwards. 1, 2, 3. And on top of this, place a sideways red sandstone stairs. But also, left of this, place an upside down red sandstone stairs. And then in between them, place a red sandstone block. And then on top of it, place 2 additional sandstone. 1, 2. And then on top of that, place a sideways stairs. And left of it, place an upside down stairs, with a red sandstone in between. Then place 2 on top. 1, 2, and then a sideways stair on top, and an upside down one coming inwards, and then place a red sandstone in between them, and then 2 on top, 1, 2, and then a sideways stairs on top of this, then place a red sandstone to the left of this, and an upside down sandstone underneath, and also place a red sandstone on top and a red sandstone slab. Now, you should end up with something that should look like this. This is one of the crazier roofs that we've done. Now, once you have done that, we can work our way down the other side. It's important that we get this correct. So, if we take the sandstone block that we placed an upside down stairs underneath, we want to place a sideways sandstone stair to the left of this. And underneath it, we want to place 3 red sandstones. 1, 2, 3. Place a sideways stair to the left of this, and also an upside down underneath it, like that. Then place a red sandstone in the corner, connecting them together, and go down by 2. 1, 2. And you want to place an upside down sandstone stair underneath, and a sideways to the left, like this. Place a sandstone in the corner, and go down from that sandstone by 2. 1, 2. And place an upside down sandstone stair underneath, and a sideways to the left. Place a sandstone in the corner, and go down by 2. 1, 2. Place an upside down underneath, and 1 to the left, a regular facing. So, what we should have should look exactly like this, and it should be even on both sides, mind you, it should be even. So, once you have done that, that is a great portion of the front of the house complete. That's a very cool part of the house. I like that, it's really recognizable. Now, once you have done that, we're going to work on the back part of the house a little bit by laying out the sides of the house. So if you come to the right hand side of the house and you take the bottom of the right side of the house, this white concrete block, extend it backwards by 18 white concrete. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Like that. And you want to add 2 rows of white concrete on top of this to make it even with the front right hand side of the house. Like so. And as a matter of fact, you want to take the next 6 rows of white and extend them backwards, equal in length to the previous rows of white that you have just extended. You see, the goal is to basically have the shape that you have on the front of the house, except transferred to the back of the house. So whether that means you want to take all of the outer white concrete blocks, or whether you want to come up as high as the roof, that is completely up to you, but we want to make this middle part of the house. So you can see that we now have raised up those 6 rows of white concrete. And what's different here is what we can do now to save a little bit of white concrete being extended, is we can now take the sides of the roof and extend the blocks backwards. So we can take the stairs of the roof and extend it backwards. And the roof wants to overhang the back of the build, remember. So you can take all of the sides of the roof, this is all of the red sandstone, and the sandstone stairs. And you can take all of this particular side of the roof. I'm not sure if we will be doing this with the opposite side because I might formulate a different plan, but you can absolutely take every single red sandstone block, all of them, and extend them towards the back of the house, overhanging by 1 row, which is exactly what I will do, ladies and gentlemen. Every single red sandstone block shall be extended backwards. I think I will do it with the opposite side, which means I'm going to be quiet whilst I do this, and we can extend the roof backwards together. And bear in mind, we don't just want to take the outer blocks of the roof. We want to take every red sandstone block, just in case I didn't make that very apparent. So these corner blocks that you can see me extending after I've extended the stairs and stuff, like, for instance, this one, all of these want to be extended backwards also. So for instance, that is one half of the roof, and that looks really good, but we have to do the same with the other half now. And that is what it should look like once you have taken both sides of the roof and extended them backwards. Now the more important view is what we now have back here, ladies and gentlemen. So now we have most of the back of the house. However, we do also want to take these side white concrete blocks here on the left hand side of the build, and we want to extend these backwards just as we did with the opposite side. And you don't have to count these out, simply look forwards over at the opposite side and make sure that they are in the same position. There's no need to count them out, just make sure that one side connects to the opposite side, like that. Right, so extend them back, make sure it's even, and then you can go ahead with your business of extending all white concrete blocks towards the back. And bear in mind, you do not have to go that far up the house. When I said all concrete blocks, you only have to really go about as high as where the roof starts, and then really you'd just be wasting your time to extend any further blocks. So right about here, this is where the roof begins. You can stop extending the white concrete blocks back. You can see that we now have a nice filled in wall, and if we take a look from the back view, we have this. Now what we do here is very simple. We fill in the back of the house using white concrete. Now, I'm really not sure what is on the back of this house at all. I don't know what the deal is with the back garden, if there is one. I don't know what the deal is with a back door, if there is one. If you know better than me, please make alterations to this build. I have applied as much detail as I can, where I can, and my research really didn't lead me to anything further than this. Like, I don't know what's back here whatsoever. So, if you do know, then please add in the detail. Otherwise, I hope that you guys are happy with what we have there. So that's the back of the house pretty much filled in. However, the only thing that we have to do is we have to apply upside down red sandstone stairs in the corners of the roof. So for instance, in this corner, we apply an upside down sandstone stairs. In this corner as well, a red sandstone stairs. here as well, an upside down one here, so you can see the difference from left to right. One side of the roof looks like it joins together nicely, and the other one is a little bit, the way that I describe it is a bit clunkier. It doesn't go together very naturally, but if you apply upside down stairs on the correct parts of this build, then it will look just 10 times better. So that's what we want to have for the big main part of the house. And unfortunately for us, that we have a lot left to do. I'm so sorry, but we've got so much left to do. Once you have achieved this part of the house, let us move on. So we are going to come to the front of the house, okay? And we are going to come to the left of the house. So the front left. We want to take this corner block right here on the front left of the house, want to dump the flower pots and the cactuses, and we want to grab light grey concrete and lime concrete. So this corner block right here. Move backwards from this block by 1, so we're taking this block, and we want to place 10 light grey concrete moving back from this, so to the left I should say. So this concrete block to the left by 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then place a light grey concrete block behind this. And then place lime green concrete going right of this. This is going to be a little bit of a hedge slash like flower bed sort of thing. We'll deal more with this later. Behind the light grey and the lime green, place an entire row of white concrete. Like this. On top of the white concrete, place an additional row of white concrete. Like this. And then starting from the left side of this, going right, we want to place 2 white concrete, 1, 2, and then 5 yellow pane, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we want to place white concrete going right, like this. On top of all of this, we want to place another row of the same. So white concrete where there is white, yellow pane where there is yellow pane, and then the rest will be white concrete. Moving all the way to the right hand side of the house, going as far as possible. Then on top of this, we want to place 4 rows of white concrete. 1, 2, 3, 4. Going right, so 4 solid rows of white concrete traveling to the middle part of the house, traveling all the way right like this. Just like that. Now, once you have achieved that, we want to add a little bit up here. So if you take the front left-hand corner of this wall, and you count to the right by 2. 1, 2. Then place 3 white concrete on top of this block. 1, 2, 3. Go right 1, up 1, right by 2, 1, 2, down 1, right 1, down 2. Take the very middle of this and extend it upwards to make a point. Like that. We then want to fill the lower part of this in using yellow stained glass paint. So we want to fill the inside of this in using yellow stained glass paint like this. And once you've done that, the next part is for us to make like the rest of the side of the house too, because there's like a side section of the house. And to do that, we basically want to take this top left hand corner white concrete block, this one right here, and we want to do 6 up left diagonals going towards the back of the house. So that means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like that. And then 6 moving back down as well, so back, bottom left diagonals going downwards towards the back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we're going to extend all of those blocks down to the ground. So we should end up with this shape. We are then going to fill this in using white concrete. So all of these blocks right here, get them all filled in using white concrete. This entire wall wants to be pretty much blank. And you'll see why in just a second, because we're going to mark out what we're going to be doing later. Because there's a really cool part of this house that I really like. It makes it very unique, and we're just going to mark it out. So once you have done that bit right there, we want to grab the birchwood planks. And you want to come all the way up near the top of the build, okay? You're looking for these 3 horizontal white concrete blocks. And place birchwood planks in front of every one of them. Take the right birchwood block and place 2 bottom right diagonals from this block. So in front of the white concrete, 1 here, 1 here. Go down by 2, 1, 2, and then do 2 bottom left diagonals, 1, 2, left by 2, 1, 2, 2 up left diagonals, 1, 2, then go up by 2, 1, 2, and upright diagonal. So we should have something which should look very much like this. Now that I've done that, I'm kind of wondering whether we should actually do this part of the house, this very strange part of the house. I think we should just go ahead and do it, ladies and gentlemen. We might as well get cracking. So this shape right here, this is like, I don't even know what to call this thing. This is like a sticky out part of the house. It's very weird to describe. I'm not going to try. You want to take the 3 blocks on the front of the circle that you've made. So these 3 ones right here going up, like top to bottom, up and down. We want to extend them left by 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you want to do the same to the 2 rows above, like that. Then you want to take the last block in the top row and extend it up by 6 once more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Go right by 2, 1, 2, and then extend it down, like that. You want to make sure that the top 2 blocks in this middle part are left alone. So like this one and this one, the rest can be filled in using birch wood, like that. I'm then going to take the back of this. So we want to come to the back, and you want to take the back 3 blocks of the circle. And you basically want to copy that shape right there. So we extend each block outwards by 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you do that to every single one of them. And then in this particular case, you can take all of these last 3 blocks and you can extend all of them up each by 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like that. And then we just want to have the same 2 rows that we have on the front, like that, alright? So let me see if I can give you guys a good view. You want to have this. Now basically, this is pretty simple. You want to then take the remainder of the blocks, and they kind of want to copy the same sort of path as these. So for instance, where we have like these top 2 single birchwood blocks, like that one and that one, extend it inwards, like that, by about 3 blocks, and then upwards. So it's basically just following the shape that you have just made yourself, like that, right? And then we want to take these blocks on top. And we want to do the same thing, like every single one of them we want to extend them in by 2 and then up, just so that it fits the shape of what we've made, if that makes sense. So like if we come to the back here, we want to do the same thing, so we just want to take these blocks and we want to extend them up, like that. And then this block here quite clearly slots between this area right here, if that makes sense. We're basically just extending our circle, and we are using the pre-existing shape that we had already to actually allow us to shape it without putting too much effort into it. So like if we come down below here and we have these 2 single birchwood planks, we extend these outwards like this, each one of them, we extend it outwards like this. And we want to turn it into a tube. So extend them until they extend one block outwards, and then extend these blocks upwards. Because we're just creating kind of like a tube, a tunnel, a big circle, a cylinder, whatever you want to call it. I think of it as a Mario pipe for whatever reason. And we want to do the same thing with the 3 blocks underneath as well. Like we want to extend these blocks outwards until these blocks are actually 1 block further than all of the others, and then these want to be extended upwards until they are as high as the others. And like I said, I kind of think of this as like just like a Mario tube for whatever reason, but birch wood instead of green, like that, and you'll end up with this shape. Now, the only thing that I'd recommend with the blocks on the outside, so like these ones, is I'd remove the corners, because you don't need them. Like, I'd remove these blocks, so that looks much more like a corner shape. And then you can't actually remove those, but that looks fine in just removing that. So you see, now you have kind of like this tunnel, right? And to make the rest of the tunnel, it's quite easy actually, it's not so hard. You need what blocks? We need light blue terracotta, lime terracotta, purple terracotta, pink terracotta. We also need dark oak fence, and I believe a singular yellow concrete. That's it. Okay, so come all the way up to the top of this like tunnel, this tube, whatever it is. I don't watch the show unfortunately, so I don't know exactly what it is. And on top of this, we want to stack light blue terracotta. Following the shape around the top of this tunnel, this tube, whatever, we want to place a circle of light blue terracotta. Okay, so now that you've placed that layer of light blue terracotta, you want to place anywhere on top of this, it doesn't matter where, you want to place a light blue terracotta, extend that terracotta outwards, and then you want to place a row of light blue terracotta that goes above and around the outside of what you've just made. So connecting together in the corners like this, we're basically just extending all of this outwards by 1 block, and it is also 1 block higher. So it should hopefully be quite easy to do. From the top view, it should actually look like that, because that's actually going all the way around the outside. But from a top view, it should look like that. So you can see we've quite effectively just extended up every single block like that, right? Now, once you've done that once, we actually want to do the same thing again, pretty much. I mean, that's the whole deal here. We want to take any one of these blocks, doesn't matter which, place one on top, and then place a terracotta outwards, destroy the original so that it doesn't mess about with anything, and then place a row of light blue terracotta that goes all the way around the above and outside, like it just connects together at the corners and everything like that. It's like you're playing a game of Snake. You guys will remember the old game, right? Probably. Anybody old? No? Okay. Well, there was a game where basically it kind of reminds me of this. Basically, just going all the way around the outside, making sure that all of the corners touch together, and you basically just want to have a shape which should look exactly like that. So all the way around the outside, basically just extended it up by 1 block. Easy enough. Now, here's where the fun begins. So, now we want to take the row that we have just made, the row that we have just completed, the layer, and we want to start from the end, right? So we're on the front and we want to start from this left side. It's like a long side, it's hard to miss. And we want to take this block right here and we want to place a lime terracotta on top of it. And then we want to move around to the right and we want to place a light blue terracotta on top of that. And then to the right, a lime. And then to the right, a blue. And then a lime to the right, a blue, lime, and then a blue inwards, a lime to the right. Can you guys see what I'm doing here? We're going around the outside of this shape, and we are basically just alternating between pressing a light blue, and a lime. Just going around the outside, pretty much just that. And this is going to give us a very cool pattern, which will make this area look a lot nicer. And you can pick up the pace once you get the hang of it. But you'll end up with a shape that should look like this. Now, the next part is we are going to use our lime terracotta, And we are going to place lime terracotta on top of all of those blocks that we've just placed. It's as easy as that. You just hit every single one of them and just lime on top. Easy as that. Just like this. Perfect. So from the outside, we'll have a shape which should look very much like that. That's perfect. That's exactly what we're after. And now once you have done that, we can work our way upwards once again. So the next part of this involves us getting a lime terracotta, and we want to one row above, and inside of this, we want to place a layer of lime terracotta that just goes around the inside, one row above, one row inside. There's nothing else to say about it, ladies and gentlemen. It's the same thing that we've done, except this time we're shrinking inwards rather than expanding outwards. So I think it's actually easier just to show you this. There you go. Easy as that, ladies and gents. That's all you have to do. Just same thing, reverse the process, shrink it. And then do it once more. Use your lime terracotta to do this once again. So we want to shrink it, one row above, inside, just shrink the area again. And it doesn't take very much of this to really shrink it down quickly. Like it happens really fast. So we want to have something which should look like that. Now that we've added 2 layers on top, we've shrank it down 2 times. Then we want to do the same thing with the light blue. So we basically want to take the light blue and, well, I mean, we'll just fill it in, right? We'll do one row above and one row inside. We'll just completely fill in this area with the light blue because it's going to be more difficult to try and connect it together. So now we have this shape, and we then want to take this part of the light blue, and we want to take the middle block and place a light blue on top, and then extend it down, left, up, and right, like that. Then we're going to take the very middle, and we'll place a light blue, and on top of that a dark fence, a yellow concrete, and then 3 dark oak fence, 1, 2, 3, and we'll end up with something that should look like this, and it looks quite cool. Like it really does make quite a landmark of itself, this particular part of the build. It's very cool. Now we want to use purple terracotta and pink terracotta, and we want to do this. We want to take the block at the top, so we want to take the dark oak fence, and we want to move down by 1. So this block right here, not this one, not that one, but this one, and we want to place a purple terracotta to the right of it. And then 2 purple terracottas still going right, like 1, 2. And we want to place a pink terracotta to the right of that. And then 1 bottom left diagonally. And then a purple terracotta to the left of that. A pink terracotta underneath it. And then you can either leave the flag like this, or you can place a purple terracotta connecting back to the fence. So it's kind of up to you what you want to do there, but it looks quite cool like that, right? That's a nice little flag. Also, very small detail here. We need birch planks, and on the left-hand side of this, there's like a part of this like tower. I'll call it a tower. That might be a good word for it. Tower. And on the left-hand side, somewhere near the top, you want to take the middle block. So, like for instance, like this block here on the left-hand side, near the top. This one. This will do. Place 2 birchwood planks coming out of this. 1, 2, and then 1 coming up from the second plank. So we should end up with a shape that should look exactly like that. Very simple stuff, ladies and gentlemen. And that is a large portion of this house complete. That is a huge part, trust me. From this point onwards, we've just got the roof, the little back part of the house, garage, and details. I guess we've got a lot still left to do, but hey, you know, progress is fun. Now that you've done that, you want to come to the back of the house. You want to come all the way back to the back of the house, okay? So now that that's completed, we want to begin by placing a row of white concrete that connects the bottom left-hand side of the house, this part right here, back to the middle. So just place a row of white concrete like that. And then 1 on top, so just another row of white concrete on top. Gonna grab yellow stained glass pane. And starting from the right-hand side of this row, we want to move left of this block and place a white concrete, followed by 5 glass pane. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It matches the window on the front, which means we then want to place the rest of the row wants to be white concrete. Then the next row on top of this actually wants to be a replica row, like it wants to be the same. You want to copy it, duplicate it, like that. So you place all of the white concrete with a row of glass pane on top. So you want 2 of the same. We then want to place 4 solid rows of white concrete. So that'll be 4, like on top of this. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you want to extend those rows left and right across, like this. So going left to right, what am I doing? There we go, left and right across, just like this. And this will basically just give us a nice back wall from this. So we want to have something which should look like that. Now, we also want to have like a flower bed, like a garden patch back here too, which means we need light grey concrete, some lime terracotta, and, oh, not lime terracotta, we want actual lime concrete, and some green concrete. So, starting from the back right-hand corner of the house, like this corner block here that we like extended across and stuff, place 2 light grey concrete in front of this. 1, 2. And then extend the second light grey to the left. Fill in the area in front of it using lime concrete, and then you can use a mixture of like lime concrete and a little bit like green concrete, and you can make kind of like a little bit of hedging. So like just add a couple of random blocks just on top of it in that order if you choose, or if not, then it doesn't matter, you know, just whatever looks good, and that's what you want to do. We also need red sandstone slabs because we want to add an overhang in front of this window. So I actually don't know whether we want both of the blocks exposed or not. Hang on. Okay, so we're actually going to need the red sandstone as well. Place a row of red sandstone in front of the top of the window. So like going from left to right, red sandstone block. And then take the lower row and place red sandstone slab in front of it. And that is pretty much the back window complete. The front is a bit different. We don't even need any red sandstone slab, okay? So let's come to the front now. So whilst we are dealing with these parts, on the front, we want to place a row of red sandstone above and in front of the top of the window. So, you know, left to right, above and in front of the top of the window. However, we also want the red sandstone to move to the left in front of the house, so it wants to basically, and also go right. You want to extend the row left and right until it covers the entire front of the house like that. We then want to place red sandstone stairs in front of this row, and also on top of this row, just like this. Nice and simple, really. Like that. We also want to kind of like extend up this little flower bed too. So like, you know, the same sort of thing that we did on the back. I mean, you can make it a little bit fancier if you so choose. But, you know, add some blocks and stuff. Like inside of the little hedge, the flower bed area. It'll look a lot better for it, honestly will. Now let's focus on this roof area for the next part. I mean, I guess we have to do it, right? We have to do it. So, use red sandstone blocks, and you basically want to place a row of red sandstone blocks that goes all the way around the outside of this part of the roof. So, around the window, you basically just want to place red sandstone blocks going around the outside of it. It doesn't want to connect together at the corners, and you also don't want to place one at the top. As a matter of fact, it might be easier to just copy me. You want to place this, basically, right? So you want to place that with red sandstone blocks, like up the sides and connecting together like diagonally. And then you want to finish it off by placing a red sandstone slab right at the top, on top of the white concrete block that has been exposed. And we want to extend all of the red sandstone forwards by one row, all of this red sandstone, including the red sandstone slab also. And then using red sandstone slabs, we want to take the bottom sandstone blocks and we want to extend the left sandstone block left by 2 using the sandstone slabs, but the right block will actually connect very well to the roof. So if you can see this shape right here, that's all you want to do basically. Now underneath the window part, like the part that overhangs, you want to have upside down red sandstone stairs underneath each one of these blocks that overhang until they connect together at the top, like that. That's quite good. once you have that, we want to do the actual, like, the side roof too. So again, like, a lot of this is quite tricky really to explain, but it's very simple in theory. So we basically just want to, on the sides here of all of these white concrete blocks, you just want to place red sandstone stairs, like coming up to the top like this, with eventually a red sandstone slab right at the top. And then you want to work your way down using red sandstone stairs to the opposite side of the roof here. And we want to have the same, like, extended out red sandstone slab connected to the actual side roof like this. So as you can see, like, it's quite simple. I mean, it makes sense, right? And the roof itself also does want to extend out by one row too. So out the side of the actual house itself, you will want to be placing a row of an additional row of, like, red sandstone blocks just coming outwards, like building onto the tower, because it does want to extend out like that. And then underneath the overhanging row of red sandstone stairs, you will also want to be placing upside down stairs, as is customary pretty much absolutely everywhere that a roof overhangs like that. So you can see how that all connects together very, very nicely. I mean, very naturally. And once you've done that, all you will have to do then is you just have to extend every single block inwards to the house. So, like, every slab, every stair, just extend it inwards. Now, things might get a little bit tricky for you as you try to negotiate around this window, but let's see. So, like, here, for instance, we would have this would be sandstone stairs, wouldn't it? And I mean, I guess it's not really tricky at all, right? I mean, you just treat it as you would any other part of the house, and you just, like, move through it. Like, you might in some places have to place an additional red sandstone block to give yourself something to grip onto, but you shouldn't have to go that far with it. Like, if you extend the outer part of the roof backwards a little bit out of this part, then you should be able to take the red sandstone blocks like this, and you should be able to just, like, place stairs on the sides of these. So just like this. I mean, I'm not explaining this, am I, very well, if at all, but I think that you guys should be able to see the technique that you use. You basically just connect together what you have, pretty much, and you'll just have to extend part of the window frame backwards, basically, and anywhere that the stairs don't connect to the main part of the house, destroy the stairs that don't connect and then replace it. I guess we can do this on this side too, like we can extend these stairs inwards like this, and then that just means that we have to, like, place some solid blocks like here. So this is what you should basically have. Like, you should just extend this backwards wherever you need to as you're building the roof, and you shouldn't have any gaps in it. Just extend back as much red sandstone block as you have to. You'll also have to do the slab on top. Destroy the blocks where they don't connect here on the sides of the roof. You'll mainly have to just negotiate with this row right here. And that's that, ladies and gentlemen. Like, that's the front part. The back part's a lot easier because it's just stairs, so I'll probably just shut up for this part. But yeah, like here, see? Just destroy, replace it, and that's that. So let me just do this back part of the roof, and then we can talk about some more details of the house, because there's quite a few. Okay, well, that didn't take very long, did it? So that is the back part of the roof, and this should be the front. And as you can see, we have done a lot of the house now. That's a huge amount of the house complete. Now, the next thing we're going to do, we're just going to add some more details and stuff. So we need a row of dark oak wood planks. We need dark oak wood planks, and we want to make our way to the bottom left-hand side of the house. So, like, where this light grey connects to the white concrete. And we want to leave a gap of how many rows is it? I've got this marked down somewhere. We want to leave, say, like, we want to move backwards by, like, 1, 2, 3, and then we want to place a row of 5 dark oak wood planks moving outwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like this. I'm going to add 2 rows on top of this because this is just a very, very simple fence that is on the house. That's pretty much all that is. That's just like 3 rows of 5 dark oak wood planks, nice and simple, nothing too complicated around that. Now, we also want to do a bit of the front garden too, okay? So if you grab the light grey concrete and the terracotta, we want to make a path, okay? So this is the sort of shape of the path that we're looking for. So the main entrance here, where we have these 5 red sandstone slabs, we want to create a path that is kind of like this shape, right? It's like a windy path that comes all the way around to the edge of the grid. So we want to have a very similar path shape on like both sides. So like it kind of wants to make sense, like it's a windy path like this. It doesn't have to be perfectly like this. That's why I'm not giving you measurements. It just wants to be like this. It wants to have a bit of a curve in it, right? Something like that will do fine. And in the middle of the path, we have these random bits of terracotta that look like this. They're kind of like this shape, right? So kind of like a corner shape. Reminds me of Tetris a little bit. And there's about 3 of them. So if you space these out evenly, so something like that would be great. And maybe even like an additional one here, close to the front. They're all evenly spaced. They're all 1 block away from each other and 1 block away from like the edge of the boundary. Something like that would look great, right? Something that shape with a little bit of terracotta mixed in the middle. The rest of the area inside of this path is actually going to be made out of light grey. So we're just going to trace along the edges of this, and it's going to be light grey. The entire entrance path is light grey. And it's an interesting path, really, and that's why I'm not like doing this off recording. But it doesn't have to be 100% perfectly this, because it is very, very random, like kind of weird. But something like that would actually be fine. That's pretty much the shape that you're looking for with the path. Okay. Now, there's more to do as well. So, like, for instance, on the right-hand side here, towards the end of the path, and once again, this doesn't have to be perfect at all. Cyan concrete and lime concrete. There's a couple of cacti. So, like, somewhere towards the end of the path here, place a row of 5 lime green coming upwards. Like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up from the ground. And then take the second to last block, extend it to the right, and then maybe like this block here, like just below it, extend that to the left. That's a cactus. But there's also like a little blue cactus next to it. So like in front of this and to the right, I'm going to place like 2 cyan concrete coming up, then like 1 to the right. Something like that would be great. Like these don't have to be perfect. Once again, like something like this will do just fine. It can be like that. It can be, you know, it can be a copy. It can be not. It doesn't matter. To the left of the path, there's also a similar sort of deal. Like, there's a rock formation with a bit of cactus involved. So, like, just to the left of the path, probably leaving a couple of blocks, something like this. We're going to place, like, on the ground a grey concrete, then 1 to the left, and a light grey concrete coming down from the original grey concrete. And on top of this original concrete, I'm going to place a lime concrete to the right and on top. Something like that. So that's like a rock with a cactus coming out of it. There's also a letterbox, so or a mailbox, whatever you Americans call it. It's made out of basically dark oak fence, a wooden trap door, and a light grey concrete. Somewhere to the left of the cactus, maybe even here, leave a gap, just a gap of 1 will be fine. A dark oak fence with a light grey concrete on top, with a wooden trapdoor in front of it. That makes a fine postbox, mailbox, letterbox, whatever. I just don't know what to call it. And once you've done that, there is also an additional bit of detail here on the left. Now, this is a bit further left. Like this is towards the middle of the garden here, right? On the left, and this is, I believe, a camel statue. Like, it's a little camel statue. So, basically, what we now have to do now is we have to place a red sandstone stairs, right, on the ground. This is the camel's front feet, so bear in mind, this is the front foot. We want to leave a gap of 1 going left, place another red sandstone stairs. Leave gaps of 1 going behind and place another stairs like this, so you've got like a collection of 4. Then in between these and above these, we want to have a row of 3 red sandstone, so like this. And we also want to raise up the middle block, because this is like a camel hump. the worst looking camel you'll ever find, trust me. We want to place a red sandstone slab on top. In front of the row, we want to place an upside down red sandstone stairs with 2 red sandstone on top, 1 and 2. And that is a camel. And maybe even like a red sandstone slab like coming out the front of it like this. Looks a little bit more camel-like, but it's basically just like some sort. I think it's like a camel statue. That's what it looks to be. So that's like the detail that we've got right now. Okay, so that's not too bad. Like that's a pretty decent amount of detail. We're not quite done because there is a structure that we have left to make called a garage. On the right-hand side of the build, we want to come all the way right. Okay. And we want to take the very bottom front right-hand corner of the house, which is this block right here. And we want to leave a gap of... 3 going right. So like leave 1, 2, 3. And then we want to place a white concrete. And then a white concrete in front of that. And place 3 on top. 1, 2, 3. And then from this white concrete, we want to place 3 up left diagonals. So like coming backwards diagonally, 3 white concrete blocks. Like 1, 2, 3. And then we want to do the same coming back down. 3 diagonals coming back down like 1, 2, 3. Connect it down to the ground. And fill in the side of this. So you can just completely fill this in using white concrete. Just fill in the side, nice and simple. Like that. And we want to take the back of this and we want to extend it across by 6 with the white concrete blocks. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we want to make these blocks as high as we want to make them as high as the row that we just like extended down to the ground, so like that. And then we want to copy this side of the garage onto this side. So that basically just copy what you see in front of you. Like just every single block that you see, just copy it, extend it forward, do the side of the roof. It should be quite easy to do, really. I mean, you should be able to just look like directly in front of it and just copy it like that. Just make sure that it's the same on both sides, pretty much. That's all you need to do. Now, you can connect the front of the garage together, like the top, you can connect the front of the garage together. But then we need to use quartz stairs, and we have to place rows of quartz stairs inside the front of the garage like this to make a garage door texture, like that. And you might even want to place something above the stairs too, so maybe like white concrete or something like this, just so that you don't have any weird gaps that you can sometimes see as you walk around. Then we want to use a mixture of red sandstone stairs in front of the top of the garage coming up to the top. And then a row of red sandstone slabs to put like a roof on this garage. And that's exactly, and we will be left with like a complete garage, like the garage, the sides, the garage roof, everything will be all nice and done. Like this. So coming all the way down. All the way down the sides like this. Perfect. So what we should have is something that should look like this. And then we also want to create a driveway for the garage. So this is a little bit more straightforward, but like if you extend the ends of the garage forward, so like the white concrete blocks, this is basically all you want to do. You just want to create like a pretty straight drive. Maybe put a little bit of a curve in it. You don't even have to do that, honestly. It could just be like a straight up garage drive. And you basically then just want to dig out the area and place some light grey concrete inside of the dugout area. And that'll be a very nice driveway. It's pretty much all you have to do. As I've said, just dig it out, fill it in using light grey concrete. Really not too much more to it. And once we've done that, there's just one task left to do that I'm going to be doing on recording. And then there's a very treacherous task after that, which I'm not going to recommend. But if you guys want to, it will make the house look quite a bit better. But, you know, something like this for the driveway, it doesn't have to be crazy. It can just be straight if you want. I'll put a bit of a curve in it just for the fun of it, like that. And all the way up the right hand side of the house, I would recommend doing this because I think it looks quite cool. Like if you use like you can do this. You can start off with a row of green concrete, and you can place it on the outside of the boundary barrier, like going from front to back. You can just place like green concrete going from front to back, just like that, yeah, like that. And then you can just you basically just want to turn it into a hedge. Like if you just extend some blocks in front, and also extend some blocks on top near the ones you've extended in front, it will look like a hedge. It looks quite good, and that'll allow you to obviously place whatever you want next to this, and it won't interfere with this build because you've got a pretty decent boundary like that. So something like that looked great, or not. You could use actual proper like leaves and stuff. But that, ladies and gentlemen, that is the isn't that crazy? That's so cool. That is the house complete. The only thing that I would recommend doing now, this is what this shovel's for. I don't think we actually forgot material this time, which is crazy. This is what the shovel's for. We are going to replace the ground, or at least I am. I'm going to have to get rid of all of the numbers and stuff. I'm going to have to get rid of all this. I'm going to dig all of the area around the inside the build, and I'm going to replace it with grass path, which is what the diamond shovel's for. I'm going to dig all of the grass, and I'm going to turn it into grass path, and then that's going to be that. That's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to do this on recording because it's going to be very, very boring. So I'll tell you what, I'm going to dig out the perimeter, all the green and stuff. I'm going to dig out all the numbers, replace it. I'm going to grass path everywhere, and then I'll show you what this build looks like. But ladies and gentlemen, this is the build complete. This is an insane looking build. I love this one. It is crazy. Very difficult to design, very difficult to make the tutorial for. Hope that you guys really do appreciate it and enjoy this. I really do. Let me do that and I'll be back. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is what the house should look like once it's been 100% fully completed. As you can see, all I have done is basically just got rid of all the numbers, and I have grass pathed absolutely everywhere inside of the boundaries, and it looks fantastic. I really am hoping that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please do remember to hit that like button. It helps me out so much. It's the best thing you can do for me in the channel. I'd really appreciate it so much. If you enjoy builds like this, please consider subscribing to the channel and clicking the little bell next to the subscription button to ensure that you get all my stuff sent directly to your sub box. If you would like to check out any more builds by me, I would highly recommend the card system and the description below. This is the cartoon portion of my world, and as you can see, it is very, very populated. And you can make pretty much everything that you can see around me for yourself if you check out the card system and the description below. Plus, I'll leave links to like my modern houses, suburban houses, survival houses, wooden houses, that sort of fun stuff too. Oh, and some of my city builds too. All of that in the card system and the description below. And that is that, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. I do hope that this video has been helpful. I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye! And this video's subscriber shout out goes to Duck Justice, who managed to make me have a little bit of a chuckle with the joke, "Have you heard about the new book about anti-gravity?" Well, I just can't seem to put it down. Winky face. It gave me a little bit of a chuckle when I read it, so Duck Justice, I do know that you have videos on your channel, so I will be leaving a link down there in the description to a link to your YouTube channel. If you guys want to check out Duck Justice and his hilarious humour, then please do check that out. That's a link there down below in the description. Thank you so much, Duck Justice, for lighting up my day a little bit with your decentish joke. If you guys would like to get featured at the end of one of these videos, you guys know what to do. Subscribe, click the little bell, like the videos, leave a comment, whether it be funny or just nice. They're the best chances that you can have of getting shouted out at the end of one of these videos. Thank you so much, guys. It might not have been you this time, but it certainly could be you next time. I'll see you in the next video.